a regular t-shirt with no dye.
And we had to soak them in water so that they can get dyed by the dye.
Okay, we'll show you the completion after the show. Hello, we didn't see you there.
What are y'all doing?
We're dyeing t-shirts.
What's dye?
Don't worry, we'll tell you.
Dyes were first mentioned in 3000 BC. Natural dyes are obtained from plants.
Yeah, it's really cool. Indigo is formed after the fermentation of indoxyl molecules. The indican molecule from indigo and woad plants has some conjugation, but not enough to appear colored. The indigo molecule, however, has twice indican's number of alternating single and double bonds, and also has oxygen atoms as part of the conjugation combination. It thus has enough to absorb light from the visible spectrum, which is why indigo is highly colored.
Conjugation combination.
Mine says hey, what's going on? You like my shirt?
Not really.
What? This is so expensive. Okay.
The reason James' purple shirt is so expensive is because Tyrian purple is obtained from mollusk mucus, and it takes 9,000 shellfish to make them. That's why we associate Tyrian purple to royalty.
Tyrian purple is the dibromo derivative of indigo. That is, an indigo molecule that contains two bromine atoms. Tyrian purple was obtained from an opaque mucus secreted by various species of a marine mollusk or snail, most commonly of the genus Murex. The compound secreted by the mollusk is, as in the indigo plant, attached to a glucose unit. It is only through oxidation in the air that the brilliant color of Tyrian purple develops.
What other primary colors are there? Well, there's red and yellow, stupid.
Didn't Alexander the Great use red coats in his army?
Oh, that's so smart.
Hell yeah, it is! Dyes have long been associated with army uniforms. The blue coats supplied by France to the Americans during the American Revolution were dyed with indigo. The French army used an alizarin dye known as turkey red, as it had been grown for centuries in the eastern Mediterranean, although it probably originated in India and gradually moved westward through Persia and Syria to Turkey. The madder plant was introduced into France in 1766, and by the end of the 18th century, it had become one of the country's most important sources of wealth.
Madder plants also produce a red dye called alizarin, which produces red.
That stuff's mighty expensive, yo!
We now know the structure of the alizarin molecule that is responsible for the color of turkey red and other shades from the madder plant. Alizarin is a derivative of the anthraquinone, the parent compound of a number of naturally occurring coloring materials. More than 50 anthraquinone-based compounds have been found in insects, plants, fungi, and lichens. As with indigo, the parent anthraquinone is not colored, but the two hydroxide groups on the right-hand ring in alizarin, combined with alternating double and single bonds in the rest of the molecule, provide enough conjugation for alizarin to absorb visible light.
Yeah.
Ew, get away!
Don't kill it! This beetle happens to make carbonic acid, which is a red dye the Aztecs used. Cochineal, also called carmine, was expensive. It took about 70,000 insect bodies to produce just 1 pound of the dye. The small dry cochineal beetles looked a little like grain, hence the name scarlet grain. It was often applied to the contents of the bags of raw material that were shipped from cactus plantations in tropical regions of Mexico and Central and South America for extraction in Spain. Today, the major producer of the dye is Peru, which makes about 400 tons annually, around 85% of the world's production.
Sorry!
Jeez, you need like 70 pounds of insect bodies to make 1 pound of dye.
Dude, that's a lot of insects.
Ancient Egyptians also used insect bodies to make dye for their clothes.
Isn't there a rare yellow dye? You're thinking of saffron, which is grown in Spain and the most expensive spice in the world. Get with it.
It's from the stigma of flowers, and it's super tedious to make.
Because of the way it is harvested, saffron is the most expensive spice in the world today. 13,000 stigmas are required to produce just 1 ounce. The molecule responsible for the characteristic yellow-orange of saffron is known as crocatin.
Don't you love dyeing t-shirts?
So much fun.
I know.
Dyes just changed the world.
It really has. Like, if there wasn't dye, I would never, ever be able to make this shirt blue.
What about you, Al Sinclair?
I wouldn't be able to make this shirt pink. You know that?
Here, have some blue,
Have
AC. Thank
alizarin.
you. Thank you. Alizarin red, that's what it's called.
It's a super duper good thing that we have these synthetic dyes now instead of that natural crud.
We can thank William Perkin for that.
Perkin was a student at London's Royal College of Chemistry. His father was a builder who had little time for the pursuit of chemistry because he felt it was unlikely to lead to a sound financial future. But Perkin proved his father wrong. By 1856, 18-year-old William Henry Perkin had synthesized an artificial dye that radically changed the dye industry. Legend has it that he tried to synthesize guanine to fight malaria, but instead he produced a rare purple dye called mauve. Mauve.
Oh my god, that's tough to over the fashion world.
Dude, Perkins is the man. He's like the founder of synthetic dyes.
Yeah, once Perkins retired, Britain and France, they pretty much went out of business, and Germany was a top dog.
Far out! Germany became the leader in synthetic dyes, and their top companies such as BASF, Hoechst, and Bayer & Company formed to create IG Farben.
Yeah, and in 1881 they produced 90% of the dye market.
Yeah, it's too bad that Germany used IG Farben in World War II to make explosives.
Jessica, look at that!
Well then, I guess it's a good thing that they split back up into 3 companies.
Dyes are important to us today because they help us make antibiotics,
Explosives, and more importantly...
T-shirts!
This beetle happens to make a red dye. No! This beetle happens to make carbonic acid. This beetle happens to make carbonic acid.
Go.
Mwah. 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 Mwah.
No.
I just can't seem to get it right today. Just can't seem to get it right today. Just can't seem to get it right today. I guess I'm gonna give up. Oh, I guess I'm gonna give up. It's nearly been a year since he's been gone. We still sing his goodbye songs. Listen knows.
Didn't Alexander the Great use red coats for his army?
And 9,000 of them was made to make only 1 gram.
What about
Go.
blue?